Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing great. We're at the beginning of 2022, and I'm sure many of you are currently looking at your certification goals for 2022, whether it's simply renewing your existing certifications or maybe taking a look at what new products do you want to learn about this year and maybe pass a new certification. In this video, we're going to take a look at what are 5 new certifications that we might get in 2022. So let's get started right after the intro. As many of you know, I'm really excited about Microsoft certifications because they're a great way to force me to study a specific product or a set of products in detail and do labs on a bunch of things that I don't necessarily do on a day to day basis. For those of you that are a bit newer to certifications, there are actually over 50 Microsoft certifications that you can go get. We have certifications for Azure, for Microsoft 365, for Dynamics 365, and the Power Platform, as well as the security, compliance, and identity. So, with over 50 certifications out there, what could Microsoft possibly do that we don't have yet? So, first of all, I just want to put it out there that the 5 certifications we will talk about are really educated guesses based on public information at the time of recording this video in January 2022. None of those certifications are actually confirmed, and of course, everything can change, but I'll show you why I made those guesses and the information that we have. And then I guess at the end of the year, we can look back at this video and see which ones of them actually happened. So let's start with the first one here, which is one I'm really excited about, which is the Power Automate Robotic Process Automation, or RPA Developer. Really, according to many studies, the robotic process automation market could hit over $7 billion by 2028. And let's be honest, Microsoft is fairly new to the robotic process automation industry compared to some of the other big players that have been doing it for over 20 years. And Microsoft really grew in this space mostly by acquisitions. But now that Microsoft actually has the tool, which is, of course, Power Automate, Microsoft needs a lot of skilled IT professionals or robotic process automation developers to actually implement RPA by using Power Automate. So, actually, really recently, I saw on Tech Community, and you have the link there in the slides, a post by Liberty Munson saying that Microsoft is considering a new certification for the Power Automate robotic process automation developer role. Again, this does not mean that it will happen, but a lot of the times in the past when we've seen those kind of posts, it maybe took 6 months, a year, but the certification eventually happened afterwards. If we take a look at what the profile or the really the target audience for this exam would be in the actual survey that was posted by Liberty in the tech community, it said candidates for this exam automate time consuming and repetitive tasks by using Microsoft Power Automate. They review solution requirements, create process documentation, design, develop, troubleshoot, and evaluate solutions. They support the deployment of solutions to production environments as well. Furthermore, candidates work with business stakeholders to improve and automate business workflows. They collaborate with administrators to deploy solutions to production environments and support solutions. So, a lot of deployment, it seems. But now, where it gets really interesting for me is what should the candidate know? Candidates should have experience with JSON, Cloud Flows, and Desktop Flows, of course, integrating solutions with the REST and SOAP services, analyzing data by using Microsoft Excel, VB Visual Basic for Applications or VBA, HTML, JavaScript, one or more programming languages. Again, this is really not detailed yet. This is just a generic audience description, as well as, of course, the Microsoft Power Platform suite of tools, which includes AI Builder, Power Apps, Dataverse, and Power Virtual Agent. So, really, this is the first certification and one that I'm really excited about that I think we're going to get in 2022. The Power Automate Robotic Process Automation Developer. This will probably be a specialty level certification. I don't see this going into either associate or expert. However, I can see how it can be an expert level certification as well. But for me, as this is really focusing on a single part of Power Automate, this should be a specialty level certification. Okay, so this is it for the first one. Now let's take a look at the second one. Exchange Online Support Engineer. Now, to give you a bit of background, why I, again, really think this certification is going to happen. If we take a trip back 6 months ago when we had a lot more sun here in Montreal, on July 9th, 2021, Microsoft released a new kind of certification focused towards team support engineers. If we take a look at the end of that paragraph, which is highlighted, it says that Microsoft is actually looking at a new portfolio of certifications that will be focused on customer support engineers. And the Teams one was really the first one in that series. At the end of December 2021, we again had an actual post on the tech community from Liberty Munson again saying that Microsoft is considering the following certification for the Exchange Online support engineer and troubleshooting role. If we take a look at what the actual audience description for it was, it said that Exchange support engineers identify, troubleshoot, and resolve issues with Exchange Online, hybrid Exchange environments, and related components, technologies, and services. The support engineer obtains log data, analyzes data to identify root causes for issues, and resolves issues. The engineer should have significant experience deploying, managing, and troubleshooting Exchange environments. So, really, again, even if the MS-203 will probably not be mandatory like the MS-740 and the MS-700, it will maybe be highly recommended. Okay, so plus have hands-on experience with PowerShell and the Exchange PowerShell module. Exchange support engineers work with customers and other stakeholders to understand details of any issues and also interact with related technology administrators and peers to resolve issues. Now, where do I see this inside of the portfolio? For me, this will be exactly like the MS-740, the troubleshooting Microsoft Teams exam. This will be maybe a MS-240. Again, I do not know if this will be the exam name, just a guess, following the Teams one, but something like the MS-240, a specialty level exam focusing on troubleshooting Microsoft Exchange Online. So probably it'll be something like Exchange Online Support Engineer or Messaging Support Engineer. Okay, so this is it for certification number 2. Now let's talk about number 3, which is very close to this one, but in another portfolio. So, number three is the Azure Support Engineer. So, I will not go through the history again, but on January 12th, 2022, again, on the tech community, there was a blueprinting opportunity saying that Microsoft is considering a new certification for the Azure Support Engineer role. And again, they had a survey out there, which is actually still up at the time of recording this video, about what should be important for this role. What does an Azure support engineer actually do? If we take a look again at the description there, candidates for this exam are support engineers who use advanced troubleshooting methods to resolve issues with Azure virtual machines, virtual networks, connectivity between on premises data centers and virtual machines, as well as connectivity issues with Azure services. The support engineer queries log files to identify the root cause for issues and troubleshoots complex issues. Candidates collaborate with stakeholders to understand details of any issues. They will also interact with Azure administrators and peers. Support engineers work with Microsoft subject matter experts to escalate issues for investigation. I'm not sure if this means they open support tickets, but they must also be able to use tools to diagnose issues. Okay, so I really see this again somewhere as a specialty level certification in the Azure portfolio. Probably again, similar to the MS 740, there will be no prerequisites, but by judging the audience, I really feel like the Azure Admin Associate certification, the AZ 104 exam currently, will be highly recommended for this certification because, as always, you need to understand how to configure something before you troubleshoot it. Okay, so this is it with number three. Now let's move out of support and maybe to something more exciting with number four, which is Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect. Why do I think this certification is going to happen? If we take a look at the security, compliance, and identity portfolio by Microsoft, which, by the way, is a portfolio that only got launched about 1 year ago. It's a complete new area that Microsoft launched last year. We currently have one fundamental level certification, the SC900. We have five different associate level certification. So we have the AZ and MS 500, as well as the SC 400, 300, and 200. But if we take a look in the expert category, we have nothing. At the beginning of December, there was a blueprinting opportunity. It said Microsoft is considering a certification for the Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect role. Since it has architect in the name, I am pretty sure this will be that expert level certification that is currently lacking inside of the security, compliance, and identity portfolio. I missed the chance. I saw it too late. I was at a conference, so I did not see what the audience was for this exam. If not, I would show it to you. But really, based on the information in this post, I really think that in 2022, we are going to get an expert level certification for security, compliance, and identity, and it will be the cybersecurity architect role. Now, if we look at our fifth possible certification, this one I have a bit less information on, and this one I'm not as sure that it's going to happen as the last ones, but I really think we might get a certification on Viva Insights. Why do I think that? It's because Microsoft actually currently has a badging system for Viva Insights, and they have two different badges. They don't call them certifications again because They're not managed by worldwide learning. They're really done more by the Viva product team and partner team, but they have the Viva Insights practitioner as well as the Viva Insights specialist. So, as you can see on the right, they almost look like certification badges, but they are not certifications yet. And that's why I really think that in 2022, as Microsoft Viva is super popular and will only gain in popularity, we might see this transition from a badging system run by a product group to an actual Microsoft certification. So, those are the five different certifications that I think we are going to have in 2022. And as a bonus, let me add three different certifications that I have no idea if they're going to happen, but certifications that I would personally love to see in 2022. First of all, a Microsoft Viva Fundamental certification, similar to the MS 900, but really focused on the four, soon to be five Microsoft Viva products. I really think that there is enough interest in there, there's enough content in there for a certification focused on Microsoft Viva. But again, no idea if this will happen. But Viva is such a focus at Microsoft that I wouldn't be surprised if we had some Viva stuff. Next up, I would love to see an updated version of the MS300. This was the SharePoint Online and OneDrive for Business and Yammer and Stream and a bit of Teams collaboration exam that we had before. Microsoft unfortunately retired it, but I would love to see it make a comeback, maybe as something more updated to be like a Microsoft 365 collaboration engineer. Lastly, and again, I'm trying to come up with titles here on what it could be. I have no idea if Microsoft is even thinking at those, but I would love to see something like a Viva Fundamental, so a Microsoft Viva exam at the associate level. It can be something like an employee experience administrator, for example. So, really, how do you actually configure the different Viva products, for example, and things like that? Again, I've not seen any public information on those, if they will happen or not. Those are just three exams that I would personally love to see in 2022 or even maybe later on, as it takes a lot of time to build a certification, but I wanted to have them in the video. This is it for this video on five Microsoft certifications we might get in 2022. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I have a lot of video on certifications coming up on my channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about the upcoming certifications? What and really, what certifications would you like to see Microsoft build? What content would you like to be certified on? Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed.